First snow. God damn. Winter came early this year. I mean, I actually was digging up parsnips yesterday. And now, snow. Winter is probably one of my favorite time of the year though. Actually, I love all the freaking seasons. It's probably why I still live in Sweden. So today I thought I would talk a little bit about recording sound. I mean, audio in general is kind of a difficult thing. And I'm not a sound engineer or a sound recordist or anything. I've had to learn it just to be able to do my work. Because I often work alone and I realize when I get to the edit, wait for the bus. So that's one thing you need to think about when it comes to audio. Don't record in noisy environments. That's really important. So I try to pick spots that are really quiet. Right now, if I just shut up for a second, you're gonna hear some birds, but otherwise it's gonna be total calmness. And I don't even know if you heard the birds because I have a lavalier mic. So if I wouldn't have the lavalier on me, maybe you would hear them because a shotgun mic or any other directional mic or whatever you have is going to pick up more environmental sounds. The good thing about a directional one is that you can point it away from the audio. So for instance, this car here, if you would have put the directional mic in that direction, you wouldn't get much noise from the road, which is just to my left. You would actually get more focused sound coming from that direction, pointing towards you. So those things you need to think about. And general rule of thumb when it comes to recording audio, good audio, crisp audio, is get close to the subject. That's why lavalier mics are a great resource. I think it's kind of natural for most people to dislike audio because it's kind of boring if you're a visual type of person. But as soon as you get into post-production and you start to work with sound editors, and then you start to realize how important it is that you don't screw up the audio recordings, because then they don't have a lot to work with.
Gott med kaffe. Jättegott.
I was a cinematographer first, but eventually I learned audio good enough, I think. And I often, when I work with sound editors or sound mixers, I asked a lot of questions and eventually I learned a lot about audio. The main rule is basically to get close to your subject. But there's a lot of things to think about, and I've adapted my way of working because I want to record clean audio. So usually I try to record interviews or voiceovers separate, no video at all, because I think it disturbs the recordings. You will always pick a location that has, been compromised in terms of the best possible location to record audio. You will have, a nice window somewhere where you can hear more from the outside, or you would have a fan or a ventilation or something like that just disturbing the recordings. So I just strip that out. Usually I record in cars because that's a solid place to record if it's not too windy or it's a too noisy location. Or I record inside in a quiet room or something. But when you work in a more corporate environment, there's always ventilation that you can't shut off. So what do? You either find a location that's quiet. I would say a car is perfect for that. People can be a little bit weird about it until they see the final result, but it is super crisp. Another thing I try to do is cover the fans. I have sound blankets. There's these specialized companies that do, sound blankets. You can probably DIY yourself too if you buy in a local car shop. They have these damping sheets that you can buy and sew together. But then you put that over the fans and it will really sound absorb that in an effective way. Yeah, basically it's all about compressing the environments so that you get the audio more compressed in a space. I mean, if you're outside recording something inside and then putting it on something outside, that's not gonna sound all right. It's gonna sound, too compressed as a space. So then you need to play around with, for instance, the reverb of an environment if you record in a studio to make it sound natural. There's a lot of these things that you can do in post, but generally I like to record as compressed space as possible, like you would in a studio. I record it there and then I put, effects on it to make it sound more spacious or whatever, because that's easier to do than to compress a space that's too big. So to, record where there's a lot of echo, that will it will make it pretty difficult to make it sound like a compressed small space where you would be, to record an interview or something like that. All right, I'm gonna split this one up into 2 videos. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching, and comment below what do you think is good audio, and yeah, see ya.
It's hard to know, and all these things just come in.